Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jeremy. Jeremy is from Florida in the USA. So, let's see what Jeremy has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Jeremy. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
Wonderful. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. I like your t-shirts. Love
It's
somebody.
that, right? Valentine's Day. We gotta get in the spirits.
Absolutely. Hi, right, Jeremy. Just before we start the game, just tell me where are you from?
From Tampa, Florida.
Right. And what do you do for a living?
Actually, I just got a brand new job in the last 5 weeks. So I actually do insurance sales for Progressive Insurance.
Interesting. And what do you like the most about your job?
That I get to work from home. I've
Good
never
answer.
had the opportunity to work from home. So now that I have, I absolutely love it.
Very good answer. Okay, Jeremy, just before we start the game, just tell me something interesting about yourself.
Interesting. Let's see. I've self-published 2 books in the last 10 years. I like to write about murder mysteries. It's something that's always fascinated me. So I would say that's probably my most interesting thing about myself. The one I'm most proud of.
So you have 2 books released?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Through the interview, I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about it so you can promote your books as well, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very good. Right, Jeremy, so welcome to William and the Magic Box. Lovely box here full of random fun questions, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play a music just for us to get in the mood before the first question. Are you ready?
I'm absolutely ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right, let's go for the first question.
All
Where
right.
do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Oh, I'm probably still in Florida. I've been down in Florida for going on 5 years now, and I absolutely love the weather. So I definitely see myself still being down south. Absolutely.
I'll tell you something. I was working for Disney Cruise Line 4 years ago, and it was based in Port Canaveral.
Oh, okay. What
How
did you do?
far?
What did you do on the cruise line?
So I was working in the food and beverage department. So I was working like a several assistants. I was there for just one contract only. I did for the experience, and it was one of the best experience I've ever had in my life. I never worked so hard, but it was one of the best experience. My God, I have good memories.
I hear it's a lot of hard work to work on a cruise line.
Oh my God, it is. But you work hard and you play hard at the same time.
Well, that's how life should be, honestly.
Absolutely. Great. Let's get another question for you.
All right.
Right, Jeremy. So tell me a little bit about your books.
My books? I've written 2 books, self-published 2 books. My first one I released 10 years ago this July. It's called The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. So for anybody that knows me, I'm a huge Reba McEntire fan. She's a country singer here in the States and an actress. Love Somebody is actually an album of hers, so I thought it was fitting for today being Valentine's Day. But back in the early 90s, she recorded a song called The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. And it's a song that I love. And when you hear the song, I sort of saw a movie playing in my head, if you will. So I just sat down, and it took me a long time to write it because I'm not that creative, but I did actually write a story based off of the song and her music video. And then about 5 years ago, I wrote another one. It's called Twisted Revenge, and it's another murder mystery, and it's about a child who was bullied and gets his revenge on people in his adult life. So
Very
yeah.
interesting. Wow.
Little bit of a dark side people don't realize I have sometimes.
We all have our dark side as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Next question is, what is something you wish you could do every single day?
Eat sushi. I love sushi. So I would say that, and being outside. I love being outside. It's just so nice, and I don't care about the weather. It could be, I'm in Florida, so the weather can go from absolutely blue skies and sunny to dark, dreary, and thunderstorms, and I love a mixture of both. I love a good storm.
Very good. Good. Let's get another question for you.
Wonderful.
Jeremy, before the next question, tell me what's the best part of living in Florida and the worst part of it, in your opinion?
The best part has to be the weather. I'm originally from Missouri. My sister's still in Missouri. And looking at the weather today, I think their low is a negative like 11 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas today we're going to be in the upper 80s. So definitely a perk of being down here is the weather. The one thing I don't like, I would say, I do miss all of the friends that I had back in Missouri. It's where I'm from. It's where I practically grew up. So I do have a great group of friends back in Kansas City where I lived before moving to Florida. So whenever I get the chance, especially when COVID isn't as rampant as it is, I try to go back as often as I can.
Good. And how far is from there to Florida? How far is?
If you're driving, it's probably a good 18-hour drive. If you're flying, I can be there in about 2.5 hours. So obviously, I prefer to fly any chance that I get.
Right. Let's get another question for you.
All right.
Right. What was your worst wardrobe mistake?
It's something I'm guilty of to this day. All of my friends love to point it out, and they tell me that everything I wear is way too baggy.
Oops.
Yes, I'm one of those people. I love to be comfortable in my clothes. I don't like the skinny jeans. I don't like the form-fitting shirts. I like my stuff to be baggy and oversized. So that is, and I've heard it for the last, I don't know how many years, and I heard it even just most recently, probably less than a month ago, saying you need to wear clothes that fit you better. So I'm still guilty.
I think clothes is a very personal thing. If you feel good about it, it doesn't matter. I think clothes
Exactly.
is about how you
Now
feel.
I can still dress up, when the right time is appropriate. Case in point, a couple years ago, I had to go to a wedding down in Puerto Vallarta for a good friend. And I had reached out to one of my friends saying, what should I wear to this wedding? And he said, for God's sake, just make sure it fits right. So I was very uncomfortable in the clothes that I wore because it was very form-fitting. And I remember when I walked out, my good friend Clint, he looked at me, he's like, damn, who's this? I'm like, I passed.
Good, very good, very good. Let's go for another question.
All right.
Jeremy, what bores you?
What bores me?
Yeah.
When I know something that somebody else doesn't, and I know that sounds horrible, but in my current job, I'm still in the training phase, and when I've already been able to do something that other people are trying to catch up on, I get so bored. Sometimes I'm just sitting there on my phone scrolling through Wish or eBay when I probably shouldn't be, but yeah, if I have nothing to do to keep me occupied, or if I'm working on a task that I'm waiting for other people to catch up, I can get bored so easily.
What's your star sign, just for curiosity?
I'm a Cancer.
Interesting, because I'm Scorpio, and I'm like you as well. I like everything like fast and everything goes. I thought maybe he might be Scorpio, maybe.
Oh no. But I hear what you're saying, because it's like up here in my head, it feels like it's constantly turning. I can't shut it off or anything. And I can get bored very easily if I have nothing to keep me active.
Cool. Right, Jeremy, let's get another question for you.
All right, let's do it.
Right, Jeremy, I was checking your profile and I saw a little phrase that's it got my attention straight away. It said equal rights supporter.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
So I am a gay man. I came out, I think it was in 2013 or 12. I forget now. It's been a while, but I just believe in equal rights for everybody, especially everything that our country has gone through in the last, particularly 4 years. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're gay, straight, trans. It shouldn't matter. And that's why just being a gay person, you can still be a supporter for equal rights, race included. I mean, something that we've seen the horrible things that have gone on in our country. You know, it's just, I just honestly believe no matter who you are, what color your skin is, who you choose to love, everybody deserves to be treated equally. And it's something that I think we've come a long way, but sadly we still have a long, long way to go.
Absolutely, it's sad, isn't it? I think nowadays when you see those kind of racism happening worldwide, you go like, my God, we are in 2021. How is it possible still to see those things around?
It's so true. I mean, there have been a few times, even in the last few years, I said, for God's sakes, are we living back in the 1950s? You know, when our country was so segregated. It's a shame. Like I said, you know, but all we can do is just keep hopefully spreading a positive message and getting love out there, peace out there, and hopefully one day we'll have a world that's more peaceful.
Absolutely, fingers crossed. Right, next question is, if you could be any age, which age would you choose and why?
I would say the age I'm at now. You know, I'm 39, almost 40, will be 40 in July. I'm at the best point I think I've ever been in my life, honestly. You know, I'm active, I've got good health, great friends, an amazing family. I still have people around me so I can stay active and do active things with them. So I would say, at least for now, the age that I'm at. If I could stay at this age for the rest of my life, I think I'd be pretty happy.
I totally agree. I think I'm the same age as you. I'm just 38, and I think that if I could choose as well, I would stay this age forever because I feel wiser than I was before. You know, it's good. It's a good age. I think you went through the 20s. Now you kind of almost get to 40, so it's a good age for the balance. I totally agree.
We've matured. We've learned from our mistakes. That perfect point.
And I'm sure when we turn like 45, we're gonna feel the same as well, for sure. Like 50.
I know, we'll be like, I wish I could stay 45 for the rest of my life. I know, every year it's gonna change.
Right, Jeremy, let's get another question for you.
All right. Okay.
You're saying that you came out as being gay as 2013. Did you have support of your family, friends around?
You know, I always tell people I am very, very blessed. All of my family, 100% supportive. All of my friends were 100% supportive. And I know I was one of the few lucky ones. You hear these stories of children being kicked out of their own home, abandoned and disowned by their family, friends that won't even talk to them. And it was a concern of mine as well, you know, especially being in rural Missouri. You know, it's not like it was the gay mecca of Missouri or anything. You know, the town I worked in was 8,000 people. The house that I bought was in a town of 220 people. So we're talking really, really small.
Oh.
But I was so fortunate, you know, everybody around me just embraced me, supported me, and was there for me. So I understand and I realize just how lucky and fortunate my coming out experience was. I really do.
Very good, very good. Next question. Where is the most exotic place you ever been?
Most exotic place?
Yeah.
I would say probably the most exotic would be the Southern Caribbean. It's not my favorite place, but it's the most exotic. My favorite place is actually around you, is Scotland, actually. I have family up in Scotland, and I was supposed to be there this year. So Scotland holds a very, very special place in my heart.
Have you been before in Scotland or not?
I've been 4 times. I was there 2 years ago, and we actually spent a weekend in Liverpool.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what?
It was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
I've been living in UK for the last 14 years, and I haven't had the chance to go to Scotland yet. Can you imagine? It's even bad to say that. It's so beautiful out there, you know.
It is. Yes, it is. And I know I'm partial because it's my family. My cousins are still there. The food, the people, the countryside, absolutely love it.
Landscapes. It's funny because I had a few people from Glasgow on the show already. A few people I had on the show, and all of them, they go like, when I go like, oh, tell me something interesting. What do you find interesting about Scottish people? And they go like, William, if you come to Glasgow one day, you're gonna see how people are friendly, how people they are so approaching, you know, so like they're comforting. If you need any help, you can see people around the streets. They smile at you. They look at, they're very friendly. And I was like, oh my god, that's amazing to hear that. And a few different people from Scotland, they said the same thing as well. I was like surprised.
Plus, one thing I always loved, having Scottish heritage in me. Anytime I would visit, especially like if I'd ever go to Edinburgh, and here in the States, you see people playing like maybe drums or a guitar on the street for money. But when I'm walking and I hear bagpipes off in the distance, it's like it hits home for me. It's just so amazing.
Oh, can you do a Scottish accent?
I could, but I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want my family to be embarrassed after they see me try that, so I'm gonna hold off on that one.
I think it's so nice, the accent. I just love the accent, the Scottish accent. It's really nice.
So funny you say that. My best just sent me a TikTok of a lady that was talking about Scottish accents and how they're so amazing because she's and she starts singing in it, and I'm just like, oh, that sounds a little bit different. But he just sent me that this morning, so it's really funny you say that.
Very good, very good. Jeremy, are you enjoying the show so far?
I am having a great time. Thank you again for asking me to do this. It's such an honor.
My pleasure.
I think that you're meeting all these people, and especially in the world that we live in the pandemic, what a way to get people out there. I love it. So thank you.
No, I'm so glad that you accepted the invitation, because as soon as I put the camera on, my God, I could feel your energy like just coming through. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, it's because I get to feed off of great energy.
Thank you very much. We are magnets. We attract people the way we are. I always believe that. So it's a good one. Next question. Let's do it.
All right.
Right, let's get another question, Jeremy. Tell us a funny story that happened to you when you were at school.
I remember, there was one time, I think I was in the 7th grade. My mom has always been a very crafty, artsy person. And my mom had come to my art class and was teaching us all how to quilt. We all had to go buy our fabric samples, and we brought our fabric samples in, and my mom would actually, teach the class. I think like 2 days a week she came, just as a gesture, gave her something to do, and I was excited because my mom was there teaching us. But I remember my mom went through and she used my samples, so she was showing everybody how to cut the samples, and after you cut the samples, this is how you sew it. And I will never forget, she got done sewing like a whole square of mine, and I'm like, oh, look, my work's already done. And in front of the whole class, she literally just took it and just ripped the stitching all out and laid it down. And I remember everybody just busted up laughing because they're like, wow, you're not even your mom's favorite if she's not going to do the work for you. But it was such a fun memory. I just remember everybody laughing. And I was like, I wouldn't expect anything less from my mom or my dad. You do everything for yourself. You don't let anybody do something for you. So, but it was cool. I was really happy that I got to spend like that extra time. My mom got to actually come in and teach our class.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Cool. Unforgettable memory, that's for sure.
It's so true. It really is.
Next question.
All right.
Right, Jeremy. Next question for you. How long can you go without checking your phone?
As long as I'm asleep. I'm on my phone all the time, and I know that's horrible to say, but it's true. I mean, if I'm at dinner with friends, I do believe, like, especially if you're out at a restaurant, put the phone down. So, I do have some self-control. But when I'm at home, whether it's watching something, watching a YouTube video or Netflix on my phone, to having something on the TV and I'm, browsing through Facebook or something, it's excessive. It really is.
Right, I'm gonna do a tough question now. And let's say that you need to remove forever from your phone. Yeah, Instagram / Facebook or YouTube. Which one would you choose? Oh, YouTube.
Yeah, I like keeping up with everybody, especially like people who I don't get to see that often, my friends back home, my family from all over the world. So getting to be able to communicate with them through Facebook. Plus, you can still get some really funny videos on Facebook, so I could do without YouTube.
Cool, very good. Other question.
All right.
before the next question, tell me what was your first impression when you came to Scotland for the very first time? What was like the thing that took in your head?
Driving on the other side of the road.
Well,
not me. So the first time we came to Scotland, my father was in the Air Force. We were actually stationed in Germany. And one summer we decided to go up to see our family in Scotland. So we drove our car up to, I think it was Calais, France. Got on the ferry. We took the ferry across the English Channel into Dover. And then from there, Dad drove us up into Scotland. And I just remember how exciting it was driving on the other side of the road. But what really got me excited as a kid, because this was like 1990, 91, I would say. So 30 years plus. When I got to get in the car with my uncle and I got to sit on the left-hand side, which for us is the driver's side. I've never been able to do that. And I just remember thinking how cool it was, because I'm like, as a kid, it's like, oh, it's like I'm driving. And I'm only like 10 years old at this time. So that and the food. I absolutely love food. The sausages, a good iron brew. Oh, I love it. My favorite. But yeah, that was always really exciting for me.
Very good, very good. Next question is, good one. Which question would you like to be asked?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Very good question.
I guess the question I would like to be asked is, what makes a good person, I would say.
Say again?
What would make a good person?
What would be your answer?
For my answer, that somebody who's there for you, who listens, believes in equal rights, who isn't late, because people who are late are a big pet peeve of mine. It's my biggest pet peeve. And just somebody who's always got your back.
Very good. Very good.
You know, that's
very simple. Very simple.
Simple sometimes is better, right? Don't overthink it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Let's go for another question. Say again?
I said you're better at the dancing part of it than I am.
Just I'm Brazilian. No, from Brazil. Brazil always like born a little without moving. So
you're from Brazil.
From Brazil, yeah, originally from Brazil.
Okay, nice. Which do you prefer? You said you've been in the UK for 14 years, you said?
Yes, and before that I was living in Portugal for 5 years as well. So I left Brazil when I was 19, and I've been living abroad since then, like 20 years. I've been living abroad. So
where's your favorite place that you've lived?
It's a very good question, actually. I would say, London. I love London. I've been in London like the longest. Like since I've been away from my family, I've been in London for 14 years. But I was in Portugal, and Porto has a special place for me as well, because it was the first time I arrived in Europe. I was 19 years old, didn't know anyone, and it's of course my language. You know, Portuguese is a very different accent. My God, I couldn't believe that they were speaking Portuguese because I couldn't understand anything. Anyway,
right.
So I think Porto. That's a very. When I think about home, sometimes, for example, of course, for me it's easier to fly to Portugal than Brazil. And sometimes when I have like a long weekend off or something, when I go to Portugal, I just feel like home. Like I just feel like home. You know, it's a nice feeling being there. I've got very good friends over there, but London is home for me now. London is home. I love London. London is a place. Yeah, I love London. Right. Next question for you. What has been the happiest point of your life?
So, trying to think how long it's been. It's been about 6-7 years ago. Probably the happiest point was getting to be there for my mom and dad when they renewed their wedding vows. At that point, they'd been married for 33 years. Wow. My mom, huge extravagant surprise in Las Vegas, where friends and family flew in, and my dad had no idea about anything of it. I mean, to the point like we had rented tuxes and everything, so my dad had no idea any of this was going on. Getting to be a part of something that amazing, and then for my mom to have asked me to walk her down the aisle. And what was great was my mom said, you know what, she had done the traditional wedding. She wanted to do something special for this time around. She wanted it to be fun. So my mom and I danced down the aisle, you know. That whole weekend was just absolutely beautiful and phenomenal. Friends, family were all there. I mean, Lots of tears were shed, tears of joy, obviously, but you know, it was a very emotional experience, and it's one that's going to live with me for the rest of my life. There's no doubt.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Do you have siblings as well, or just you? You're the only...
I have her sister who's she's still in Missouri. She's 15 months younger than I am.
Oh,
so
wow.
we fight like cat and dog now, and now we're each other's best friend.
Very good, very good. Another question for you.
Right.
Okay, next question for you. What would be the title of your memoir?
You would think that would be easy. How about Jeremy, from then to now?
Tell me a little bit about it. Why?
Because if I wrote it now, there's still so much more that hasn't been discovered. So all I can tell is everything that's happened. So from then when I was born to now when I wrote the book.
Very good. Very good answer. Right. I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Okay, Jeremy. Next question is, who is the most influential person in your life?
Definitely would have been my mom and dad. You know, they taught my sister and I everything that we needed to know. How to be respectful, our hard work ethic. When you want something, you go out and do it yourself. Nothing was ever handed to us as kids. You know, we had a wonderful childhood, but anything that we wanted in life, we had to learn to earn it for ourselves. And it's something that I just feel like it's gotten me to this point that I'm at in my life. And if it wasn't for my upbringing, that my mom and dad and everything that they instilled in us, neither one of my sister and I don't think would have been as successful as what we are today. So without a doubt, my parents.
Very good. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Right. Next question is, what makes you feel discouraged? I always get this word wrongly. Discouraged. Yeah.
I got you the second time. You said it right. If I'm not able to figure something out quickly, I'm somebody that I want to be able to understand if I have something, whether it's my career, especially now with a new job. If it's something that I don't understand, I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself sometimes. And so the discouragement comes from the pressure I do put on me. So if I'm not able to figure something out, accomplish something the first time around, it's upsetting for me. Because I strive to be a perfectionist. We're never going to be perfect. I know that. But it doesn't mean I still don't try and I still don't get upset when something hasn't been done exactly the way I think it should be.
I think it's in your personality already, isn't it? When you're like that, it's difficult to change this. When you get things perfectionist, like things like perfect in a way, you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
We can work on it, but it's still there. It's still there. It's always gonna be.
I agree. And at this point in my age, it's hard to teach a old dog new tricks. So I'll try to be better, but it's a hard habit to break.
Right, ready for the last one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I like your moves. Get in there.
You're too kind.
Right, last question is, tough one, very good, tough one. If someone gave you an envelope with your death date inside, would you open it or not, and why?
Oh, I would, because I want to make sure that I had no regret. I want to make sure I was able to do anything and everything that I could. Accomplishments, say goodbyes, maybe make amends for things that I've done in my past that I might be ashamed of. No question about that. I've thought about that before. I would absolutely look inside that envelope.
There's something now, Jeremy, it's funny because when I started out the show and I had this question on the show, And I remember one point when I started out, sometimes when this question came along, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to put away this question, because I think most of the people, like everyone's going to say, no, 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 I'm not going to open, I'm not going to open. And actually, fun enough, a few people said the same answer as yours. Like they would open it. And the reason why it makes sense, you know, in a way. So it's very interesting what you just said. Very interesting.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
No, and the whole thing of the show as well, they are not right or wrong answers, just different point of views, and I love it when I'm expecting like a different answer, and when it came up like a different answer, and the way you explain is just amazing. I just love it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Good. Right, it's not the end yet, okay? So let's play now the quick thinking game. So I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind.
Okay, no pressure.
No pressure. Let's start it. So let's start with religion.
Choice.
Good one. Love.
Hopeful.
Okay. Money.
Evil.
Family.
Love.
Life.
Endless.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Horrible.
Okay. Fear.
Worried.
Friendship.
Amazing.
Desire.
Want.
Regret.
Always.
Success.
I guess great.
Okay.
That was a hard.
Happiness.
Me.
Good. Very good. A wish.
Star.
Right. And the last one, United States of America.
Home.
Very good. Very good. Right. Let's play now Jeremy and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question, okay? Right, Jeremy, you can ask me a question now.
How are you handling the pandemic and the lockdown?
So I think Jeremy, it's a very good question, because when the lockdown started out, to be honest to you, I really went through a really hard time, because I'm a very sociable person. I always being I'm very proactive. I go to the gym, I go to the cinema, I meet friends. I literally was going home to sleep, just to sleep. You know, I had always this very proactive life. And when the lockdown started out, and I literally went through a really tough time. I really found myself in a position that I really never felt before. You know, I never felt so literally desperate. I remember calling a very good friend of mine, telling him, look, I just need to talk a little bit, because I'm feeling anxious right now. I'm feeling really anxious. And yes, I think because I think no one was expecting that. I think no one was ready for that, prepared for this situation, you know, what we're going through now. It was new for everyone. And I think for me, it's really affecting in the beginning. But as always, I see things a positive way, and I'm always being very creative. I always try to find the positive side of it. I started out studying French. I started out doing things that I never find time to do. And literally, this project I'm working right now came out through this time when I was locked on myself, like I'm literally alone. And I'm very grateful actually for that, because if I didn't have this time for myself with the lockdown, I wouldn't be able to have this idea I had to do this project, because as I told you before, I'm so proactive, always out. I didn't have time to lock myself and say, okay, let me try to see different things. I think everyone went through tough time, but at the same time as well, we find a way and a creative place that was hidden somewhere that we didn't find time to work it out or to find it. You know what I mean? So yeah, at the beginning, it was really hard for me. And after, like, when I start to adjust myself to the new, to this new world, that's where I start flowing out ideas. That's where my creative got even stronger. And I'll tell you something now. I literally went for a run one day, and this idea of this magic box just popped to my head. And I'm so grateful. So, of course, besides the sad time, the negative part of this big epidemic right now, I'm grateful as well. I'm grateful because at the same time as well, personally, I feel grateful because at the same time as well, I find myself in a way that I would never be able to meet myself the way I'm see myself right now if I didn't go through that time, this tough time in my life, like everyone is going through now. So yes, answer to your question. So I think I need to go really down, really like in a very dark place, and to find yourself and to see, to find a creative thing that I want to do that for life. What I'm doing right now, I just want to do that for life because I'm so grateful that I can connect with people worldwide. I can give a chance for people to talk about their opinion, their point of views. They can go back in their memories in life, like you are sharing this beautiful moment with your mom and your dad, celebrating, you know. So I think it's a gift. It's a gift. When my friend asked me, William, if you could pick something out of this epidemic time, I said, oh my God, I could pick just this moment that I find myself. If you ask me a question like let's say 2 years ago or last year, William, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? What do you want to do? I wouldn't have an answer for you because, do you know what I mean? I didn't have. But now I'm like I feel so. As you can see, I feel so happy that I can say, okay, what I'm doing right now, I want to do for life. I wanna. Of course, I've got other projects as well based on this one. But this started out. Winning the Magic Box for me is a gift that came out of this very tough time that we are going through right now. So that's my answer to you.
And I think it's a wonderful thing. It really and truly is. I mean, the number of people that you've touched and will continue to touch and get to know and spread, not just your message, but, you know, the things they have to say. What we need today. It really is. So thank you.
No.
I was flattered that you asked me and excited. I was a little nervous because I watched the videos. I'm like, oh, how would I answer that question, you know? It's on the spot sometimes, but I mean, you put people right at ease. I noticed that, and I had an absolutely wonderful time, and I honestly, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. But I forgot something. Before we go, let's pretend now that if I would meet your sister, like you said, very close to her, and ask your sister, define Jeremy in a positive word and a negative word only. What's your sister would define yourself?
Positive word is helpful. She would definitely say I'm helpful. A negative word, she would say, how dare you? There's nothing negative to say about you. And even if there was, we wouldn't talk bad about each other like that.
Very good. Jeremy, it was a pleasure. Okay, thank you so much for the interview. All the best, okay?
Thank you, William. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, you too.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye, see you next time.